Aloha. I have taken my vacation leave and had a flight here in the land called as Paradise, Hawaii. I have chosen to go here because of our next lesson. As I enjoyed my vacation, I have seen and learned things more than a book could provide. I have gathered information about hot spots here in Hawaii. For you to know about this, watch this video fully. Listen attentively and scoop all the science concepts you are about to watch. These two pictures show how Hawaii looks. The first picture shows a calm and peaceful scenery. The second picture shows a spectacular, furious landscape. Both views are remarkably wonderful and amazing. Do you wonder how Hawaii can showcase these kinds of features? Let us study Hawaii geography. This is the map of the Hawaiian Islands. The Hawaiian Islands are volcanic in origin. Each island is made up of at least one primary volcano, although many islands are composites of more than one. The Big Island, for instance, is constructed of 5 major volcanoes: Kilauea, Mauna Eloa, Mauna Kea, Hualalai, and Kohala. Hawaiian volcanoes are not formed by converging nor diverging plate boundaries. Instead, they are formed because of anomalous volcanism in the middle of the Pacific Plate called hotspots. Hawaii is located in the middle of the North Pacific Ocean. Hawaii is an archipelago with 8 major islands, several atolls, numerous islets, and seamounts. The Hawaiian archipelago is composed of around 130 to 140 islands. There are 5 active volcanoes in Hawaii. Do you ever wonder how volcanoes formed in the middle of a plate? You will know about it in this video lesson. It is said that the state of Hawaii formed million years ago due to hotspot activities. Any hotspot activities will result to the formation of volcanoes in the middle of a plate. My trip here in Hawaii will give us great clarity on how this volcanic chain in the middle North Pacific has been formed. Are you ready, scoopers? Let's start our educational tour here in the land of Aloha, Hawaii. Here are our 3 learning objectives for today. At the end of our lesson, you are expected to, first, determine what hotspot is. The second objective is you should relate hotspot with plate tectonics. And the last objective is for you to recognize the results of hotspot activities. Our lesson for today will explain how volcanoes formed in the middle of a plate. This video is about hotspot activities, the volcanic anomaly in the middle of a plate. So get your pen and notes ready as we start our day. As this video shows, hotspot volcanoes are formed due to a moving lithospheric plate over a mantle plume. The slow movement of the plate results to a volcanic chain in the middle of that plate. The moving lithospheric plate may change its direction, so does the volcanic chain. As the volcanoes move away from the concentration of heat or hot spot, they become inactive and turn into seamounts due to erosion. The newest volcano is the nearest to the concentration of heat. In hotspot activities, volcanoes are formed over a stationary mantle plume. The lithospheric plate moves over a hotspot. The hotspot high temperature melts the crust of the slow-moving plate and release magma or hot molten materials, which leads to the formation of hotspot volcanoes. What is a hotspot? Hotspot is a small area or region with relatively hot temperature in comparison to its surrounding. A hotspot is located over a mantle plume. Mantle plumes are tube-like areas where heat and molten rocks in the mantle are rising towards the surface. A hotspot is the surface expression of the mantle plume. The lithosphere moves slowly over the hotspot, resulting to the formation of a chain of volcanoes. The volcano above the hotspot is considered as the newest or youngest. Since the youngest volcano is placed above the hotspot, this volcano is the most active one. The farthest volcano from the hotspot is the oldest and the least active, since it is located far from the concentration of heat, the hotspot. The formation of hotspot volcanoes are called anomalous volcanism because the volcanoes are neither products of converging boundaries nor diverging boundaries. Instead, the volcanoes are formed in the middle of a plate. The Hawaiian Islands are products of hotspot activities. Let's watch these two short flicks showing the results of hotspot activities in the land of Aloha. This is the first video. Now, let's watch the second video. All geologic features you have just watched are products of hotspots activities happening at the middle of the northern Pacific Plate. I was surprised knowing that the two most active volcanoes in the world is in Hawaii. These two are Kilauea and Mauna Loa. Mauna Loa last erupted in 1984, and Kilauea's last eruption was 1983 to 2018. Other volcanoes on Hawaii Islands include Mauna Kea, Hualalai, and Kohala. These are the pictures of the Hawaiian volcanoes. This is Mount Manka. This one is Mount Hualalai. This is Mount Kohala. This video shows how active Mount Kilauea. The eruption of Mount Kilauea took over years from 1983 to 2018. It is so active indeed. Remember this Hawaiian trivia: over its 85 million year history, the Hawaii hotspot has created at least 129 volcanoes, more than 123 of which are extinct volcanoes, seamounts, and atolls, 4 of which are active volcanoes, and 2 of which are dormant volcanoes. Active volcanoes are volcanoes that have recent eruption or volcanoes erupting at the moment. Dormant volcanoes are not erupting, but scientists suppose that these volcanoes will erupt again. Dormant volcanoes are considered active yet resting or sleeping volcanoes. Extinct volcanoes are volcanoes found far from the hot spot and have not erupted for 10,000 years. Seamounts are underwater extinct volcanoes. Atoll is a ring-shaped reef, island, or chain of islands formed of coral. Atoll is a ring of coral formed around an extinct underwater volcano. Do not forget that not all volcanoes are products of plate boundaries. Few of the volcanoes are formed due to hotspot activities. Hotspot volcanoes appear on a lithospheric plate passing a great concentration of heat connected to a mantle plume. The farthest volcano has been formed first and becomes inactive as it moves away from the hotspot. The youngest and most active volcano is the newest volcano and located just above the magma source. Hotspots, even though it appears dangerous, may lead to the creation of breathtaking landscapes like what I have seen here in Hawaii. As we believe according to science, plate tectonics or the slow movements of lithospheric plates lead to the formation of different landscapes. One of my favorite lines is "You only live once, YOLO." Thus, at this moment, I'd like to go around more here in Hawaii, but before I go somewhere else, I want to give you a simple challenge to check your understanding. I will give you a short paragraph. The paragraph has gap fills you need to complete. You have 30 seconds to complete the paragraph. Word choices are found in the box. Are you ready? Write your answers on your paper. After 30 seconds, I will tell the correct answers. Volcanoes found in the middle of a plate is a product of hotspot activities. The concentration of heat melts the crust and supply hot molten materials to the Earth's surface. The volcano found farthest from the hotspot is the oldest, and the volcano located on the top of the hotspot is the youngest. The oldest volcano is usually inactive and the youngest volcano is the most active. Now that I have done giving you that simple assessment, I want to excuse myself. It is my vacation after all. I will just sit here and enjoy the beautiful paradise of Hawaii. So let me say aloha. By the way, aloha is used to say hello or goodbye. To officially ends the video lesson, this is our quote for today. Your mind is your belief hotspot, the center where the issues of life emanate from. By Hawaiian Enoch Onyoha.